Hey everyone, Mystical Mark here. So in this video, we're going to be talking about this full moon in Sagittarius. Alright, so the full moon here happening, well, at 2 degrees. So 2 degrees Gemini, 2 degrees Sagittarius. So what I feel like this is, so the new moon in Taurus was kind of like that planting the seeds of change regarding the big shifts and changes that needed to occur. With this full moon in Sagittarius, we're going to see more like expansion. We're going to begin to see the growth in that. All right, and what I mean by that is, so here we have the sun here, 2 degrees Gemini. We've just come into Gemini season here. The moon here in Sagittarius. What rules Sagittarius is Jupiter. Jupiter is still here in Taurus at this 29 degrees, actually conjunct Venus, which rules Taurus. Okay, and it's at this anaretic degree. Now, as we can see here, okay, we're still in a wide conjunction to Uranus, right? So there's approximately a 6-degree conjunction. Remember, with the outer planets, that waning off period, it takes a lot longer for that kind of waning to happen, right? So for that energy to dissipate. So we're still experiencing this Jupiter conjunct Uranus type energy in Taurus. And like I said, this is referencing big shifts, big changes that need to occur. You can watch my previous videos on that all the way back to the solar eclipse. That is all still relevant regarding all of this. Okay, because we've got Pluto retrograde here. And in fact, the sun here for this full moon is in trine to Pluto, and this moon here is in sextile to Pluto. So we'll kind of talk about that in a second. But like I said, with this conjunction here at this anaretic degree, especially involving with still that Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, this is still regarding those aspects of change, those big shifts and changes that are needing to occur, right? We are in Gemini season. Mercury rules Gemini. We can see here Mercury is in Taurus now. So Mercury is way out of shadow. The Mercury retrograde is completely done. Right, in fact, Mercury is moving quickly now. It's moving at about 1.5 degrees a day. So we're back at that speed. However, we still have like this Taurus energy that's going on here. If we take a look down here, we can see at the 29 degree mark here, we have the north node of Mercury as well conjunct this space. And in between this Jupiter-Uranus, we have the Mars north node as well. So we can see here, Mercury is in Taurus, like I said. So we're dealing a lot with this Gemini-Taurus type energy. Gemini is very quick. It wants to move forward, it wants to be quick. It's very intellectual, very like wants to speak, wants to communicate, very curious, wanting to kind of move in all these directions. Or very, almost like a curiosity though. This Sagittarius energy is more of that expansive multiple directions. However, it is relating to this Jupiter and this Uranus, so it's this expansion of that. So we're really wanting to begin to move forward more quickly, but this Taurus energy is still here creating those big shifts. So we're going to see things start to pick up speed. It's hard to move Taurus, but with this Gemini energy here, there's kind of like this overlap, right? So we have this conjunction at this anaretic degree, 29 degrees. We're going to really feel like, oh my God, we need to get this done. We need to do this. We need to do that. In Taurus, it could probably feel almost a bit stressful, like these big things that you need to move, right? Because Taurus doesn't like change. Taurus doesn't want to move unless it feels like, you know, it should. It sees value in that. So it's very hard to shift Taurus. Right? And like I said previously, we're trying to move into better places, into a place of love actually as well, if you watch my previous videos. And that's a hard shift to make, especially in this world, because there's so much focus on negativity. In fact, even in the astrology community, spiritual community, there's so much of a focus on like negative bullshit. And it's like we need to shift away from that. We need to still be aware of the crap that is going on, but we need to move into that space of love at the same time. Right? So I can go more into that at another time, but I want to continue talking more about what I'm actually here for this full moon. Although that does definitely relate. So check out my previous videos if you want more on that. So again, with this conjunction here, and like I said, with these nodes, we can see the north node of Mars is involved here. We have Mars in Aries, conjunct the moon, the lunar north node here, as well as in a conjunction to Chiron. So it's kind of stuck in the middle here. So again, these are these shifts forward. Aries is very cardinal, Mars is very cardinal, wanting to move forward, wanting to shift forward. Don't listen to people talking about war, okay? We need to end that. all right? The war stuff, we need to shift into a place of love. Again, I'm coming back to that. Okay, we need to focus on that. Okay, what I'm talking about with this Mars in Aries is the cardinal type energy that take action to move forward in new directions regarding ourselves, healing ourselves. Okay, we don't want to hurt anymore. We want to heal. We want to heal. We want to move into a place of love. All right, and with this North Node, Mars in this conjunction regarding this changes regarding that to shift forward in a new direction to heal and be more positive in that way as well. Just to come back to the sun here. So as I said, the sun is at the 2 degrees of Gemini, and all this big conjunction, the Jupiter, Venus, all that is at the 29 degrees of Taurus. So that's where this overlap kind of occurs, right? Because these are still this Jupiter, Venus, Sun is technically conjunct, but they're in different signs. So we're overlapping this energy where these changes, these big shifts and changes that are needing to occur. It's like we've planted the seeds. Now we're starting to see growth. Now the roots are starting to grow. We're starting to see blooms. Things are going to start to pick up speed, right? They're kind of, this energy is kind of working together. This Gemini is helping to speed up these big shifts and changes because Taurus is very slow. Okay? And with this Moon here in Sagittarius, it's the expansion of that. And with Jupiter down here at that 29 degrees, we're probably really going to start to feel the expansion of that and these big shifts and look, oh my God, we need to do this. And this could be surrounding like communication, aspects of knowledge, higher knowledge, stuff coming out, more communication happening, needing to occur, needing to pick up speed. A lot of that is a big thing here, especially with the Mercury North Node on this Jupiter-Venus conjunction where Venus rules Taurus. So it's like this Taurus energy, this big shifts and moving forward right into these new changes and spaces that we've planted, and with this Jupiter-Uranus conjunction still existing here. So again, the Sun trine Pluto, Moon sextile Pluto. Again, Pluto is now retrograde. So we're dealing with what we have planted, right? Over the course of that solar eclipse, over the course of all the previous moon cycles that I've talked about. Go check out my previous videos. I've mentioned before, I've referenced back to them already. We're still dealing with a lot of these shifts and changes. Remember, Taurus moves slow. We've had energy in Taurus regarding that time frame. We've had that solar eclipse in that I believe it was a semi-sextile to this Jupiter-Uranus conjunction regarding these aspects of change, right? So this is all interconnected still regarding this. And with Pluto now retrograde, we're starting to go back over those old spaces, right? So Pluto's moving slowly backwards, so those most recent old events are what's going to be reviewed first before we go back when Pluto reaches the beginning, more like the 0 degree of Aquarius. That's going to be more stuff from the beginning of this year, right? So we're going over this old spaces where we want to transform and change and make those big shifts and changes because Uranus, the ruler of Aquarius where Pluto is in that Taurus with that Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. So all of this is intertwined and intermingled, okay, with this full moon regarding aspects of release. We're releasing these blocks to kind of make these big shifts happen, or the blocks to making them speed up in a sense, right? We're releasing, we're wanting to expand here with this moon here in Sagittarius to really begin to take action to move forward into these new spaces and new directions. And yes, I can see there's a lot going on in this chart. Started to use the planetary nodes. Yes, planets have nodes. It's not just the moon. Okay, so the planets do have nodes, and they do have an effect here. The outer planets' nodes don't move very much, but they still have significance. Everything here has significance, all right? So, and again, guys, let's just remember, move to a space of love. That's part of what all of this is, these big shifts and changes that we need to make. Of course, that filters down into our lives, into all different areas of our life. But the major shift here is moving into a space of love. All right, focus on your heart. Don't put your head in the sand and be like, oh, everything's just positive, even when it's not. If it's not, then we need to make that shift into that space of love, right? Be aware of what is going on and move into that heart space. But don't get sucked into that negative crap anymore. We're moving away from that, okay? Thank you guys. Happy full moon. Have a great week and take care, everyone. Bye for now.